also going live. I'm live on Facebook.
Today I'm live on my Facebook page.
Which is good.
Not on my Facebook profile. I'm on the page now, and the reason I'm on the page today is because I have more reach on the page, and there are more tools there that I can use.
Innovation. I can see I now already have a number of viewers. Keep going. Joa, look. Oh, okay, good.
Right. And I'm going to start the recorder now for Skype.
Thank you. Thank you for viewing. Yeah.
Okay, I've started the recorder for Skype.
Okay, good.
And Facebook is still letting people know that we are live.
Yeah. I think Facebook is doing very well. On my side, there are already people listening.
Yeah, I think because you advertised. Did you advertise that you'll be live? Or now they are used to?
They're used to. I didn't advertise.
You didn't advertise. That's good. I mean, if you continue to.
I can see Shua from South Africa. Shua, how are you?
Say hello to Dr. Shua. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you can...
We still have 30 seconds. Let's give... because you said we started past, so we've got 30 seconds to go. Let's in case someone is rushing to come and watch.
Yeah. So all viewers out there, we are starting exactly at 9:30. So we've got about 20 seconds to go. Chiratidzo, how are you, Chiratidzo? I can see Chiratidzo from Republic of Ireland. We have gone global. Professor Mapondera, they're from South Africa. How are you?
It's all good. I think we can start now, Elliot Faber.
Indeed, yes.
Right. So today, good evening, viewers, on my Facebook page and also on Elliot Faber's Facebook profile. We are recording this live on Facebook, but we're also recording on Skype. Okay, we're using a software called Call Recorder, and we're recording this so that we can post it later on both on Facebook and also on YouTube. Okay, so today we're looking at social justice and food security, a United Nations global challenge by Elliot Faber. This is a book we have been reviewing for the past 2 weeks, and this is the third week. And in the third week, we're on chapter 3. And chapter 3 is about ecosystems and human well-being. So Elliot will be looking at how the natural ecosystem and human well-being are related. Okay, so Elliot, would you like to go ahead and start talking about chapter 3?
Indeed, in chapter 3, I was looking at the ecosystem. Here, ecosystem are looking at the interconnection between the organisms and the environment, with the very specific to human beings. I think, firstly, I looked at it from a global perspective, in the sense that they've been, of late, for the past 20 years or so, there's been a migration of people from rural to urban areas, hence increasing pressure within urban areas in terms of infrastructure and services. And this is well defined and well pronounced, especially from developing world. We can actually relate this to Zimbabwe as well. So yes, and we've seen also as population grows, they've been demand for land in terms of agriculture, in terms of urbanization, for example. And then I also looked at it from a Zimbabwean perspective to say, okay, fine. The population of Zimbabwe has been growing exponentially. And, for example, what is the position, especially of policymakers, in terms of planning to meet the needs and demands of the population? I can just give you an example. For example, in 1955, there were 3 million people in Zimbabwe. By 1980, when we attained independence, the population was 7 million. And the last
I remember Dynamos used to be called 7 million at one point.
Indeed, and that reflects the 1980 figure. And I suppose it's they are still calling it 7 million by Zimbabwean standard.
Yeah.
When the population is moved. And the last census was in 2010. And 2010, the population of Zimbabwe was 13 million. Again, we are no longer, although we've seen that in terms of the government, they are still using the population figure of 13 million.
Yeah.
We are by no means a static population because our growth rate annually is 2.3%.
Okay.
In 2017, it is projected that the population of Zimbabwe is now 16.5 million.
Okay.
And then if we look further, going beyond the 2017, the population of Zimbabwe in 2025 is expected to reach 19 million.
19 million.
19 million.
Okay.
If we go further to 2050,
yeah,
the population of Zimbabwe is expected to be 29 million.
Oh.
Now, what we are saying is, yes, we are 16 million at the moment, and the government or the policymakers themselves are unable to meet the needs of 16 million people. What does it take in 2025 to meet the needs of 19 million, or further to meet the needs of 29 million in 2050? So we are saying, yes, these are challenges, and they are not unique to Zimbabwe. Currently, the global population stands at about 7.4 billion, and expected to reach about 8.5 billion in 2025. But the difference between other countries and Zimbabwe is that because of ill governance, corruption, Zimbabwe is unable to plan effectively to meet the needs of the population. This is why we can't even feed 16 million people. We can't even find jobs, let alone for 500,000 people. And we're still in 2025 when we are expecting the population to reach 19 million. But by the way, if you look at the demographic statistics for Zimbabwe, is that over 50% are below the ages of 25. Now, what does that mean? Is that population is a very much population that requires employment.
Yeah.
And unless any new government that takes over from ZANU-PF, and I hope and trust that in 2018 Zimbabweans will come out in their millions, and if they can amplify themselves into their billions, if they can come into their billions, to make sure that ZANU-PF does not by any means crook and hook, again, rig elections, because I think we need urgently to address the needs of population growth with regards also to the resources that are available. Mind you, Zimbabwe has got a lot of resources. Again, I alluded into this chapter in terms of how the world can capitalize on the current mega resources in terms of mechanization, in terms of effective land use. to meet the needs of their population. Zimbabwe at the moment, at 16 million, the population density for Zimbabwe is 42 people for every square kilometer.
Yeah.
Which is still very modest in its own, if you look at that comparing to other countries. So we are not a country which is in crisis in terms of space. We are a country in crisis in terms of governance. And this is what we need to address as people of Zimbabwe.
Yes, but when you look at, for example, if you look at the fact that we're trying to come up with ways of increasing food production, and at the same time ensuring that the ecosystem is as robust as possible. At the moment, can we say that Zimbabwe is not producing enough? Is that the only problem we have? Or do we also have a situation where even that which is produced is not being adequately or fairly distributed, so that we still have inequality of income, and we still have inequality of capital, and we still have inequality of the distribution of resources, even within the little resources that we have?
You're right. It is actually both. If you look at it, if you move from one province to another in Zimbabwe, the distribution of wealth varies. And it varies from almost an equal distribution of wealth, where it is predominantly a ZANU-PF dominated province, to, if you move to another provinces, the disparity between the rich and the poor, the gap widens. But in any earnest, you've got a few people in Zimbabwe who controls maybe 90% of the wealth. And then 90% of the population are in abject poverty. So
if you look at the global trend, I think they call it the 90-10 rule, or the 80-20 rule, or the 99-1 rule, in which, for example, 1%, the top 1% in the world, they control maybe more than half, or they earn as much as what half the population of this world is earning. So they earn the equivalent of almost 3.5 to 4 billion people.
Indeed, yeah.
So this is a global trend, but what we've seen in other developed and democratic nations is that even the 99% or the 90% or the 80%, although they are at a disadvantage in terms of distribution of capital and of resources, their hierarchy of needs are still satisfied.
Yes.
To the extent that they still have clean water, they still have enough food. I always give the example that if in England, if you walk into a supermarket with, say, £5,000, okay, you can buy as much grocery as someone who only spends £500. The only difference is that the one with £500 is buying what they call value products, okay, which are manufactured by the supermarkets themselves, whereas the person spending more money or 10 times more money is buying maybe products that are premium products, okay? So at the end of the day, each person has breakfast, lunch, and supper. The only difference is that the one with more money is just spending more money on more expensive products. But they walk into the same supermarket and they both come out with grocery. They've both filled trolleys, okay? And the person with a budget, who is buying budget items, is still able to afford the basics, whereas the person with more money is able to splash, but they are not better off in terms of access to resources. They are just better off in terms of the quality of the resources that they are using. But in Africa, I think we see a different scenario where the 10%, okay, will make sure that the 90% are not getting anything at all.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And I think if you look at chapter 3, this is why I also talked about Maslow's law of hierarchical needs.
Yeah.
One might extend as well to Aldous ERG needs. In most countries, the developed world, the physiological needs are met. In other words, everybody in a way has got their physiological needs met in terms of shelter, food, water, clean water, and sanitary, etc., etc.
Yes.
The security aspect to some extent.
Yeah.
And then you then move to developing world. Of course, we've got countries that have moved on, and I think I also alluded to it in my book that we've got China moving on. We've got Brazil, we've got India. We now have got, instead of having the developed world and the developing world, we now have got a group of countries that are in the middle, in a way. And
those could be the BRICS.
Yes.
Maybe Brazil, Russia, India.
Together and forming the BRICS, which is, including South Africa. So yes, and they are advancing humanity in a way. And I think it has to be recommended that yes, those countries are doing every possible to advance.
Yeah.
And address the disparity between the distribution of wealth. And again, mind you, this is also enshrined in the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals for UN, in terms that every nation must endeavor to close the gap between the poor and the rich. And unfortunately, in Africa, yes, we've got countries, especially in the East Africa and West Africa. I think they are doing very well for that. We've seen Kenya doing very well. We've seen Tanzania, and Ghana is coming up very well in that regard. And yes, South Africa still have got some challenges. Mozambique, again, doing very well. Zambia, all countries neighboring Zimbabwe at the moment are doing very well. And unfortunately, Zimbabwe doesn't seem even to learn from its neighbors. Zimbabwe does not even need to fly to find case studies in far field. All they need is to cross the border to Mozambique, to Zambia, to Botswana, to South Africa, and even of late to Malawi. And I think we can probably we'll delve into that when I'll be looking at the sort of the net cast of people who are following our program. We then can bring in those countries, and people out there might be interested to see that yes, in this live broadcast, there might be a few people watching, but eventually we have realized by data analysis that over 70 countries are following this program.
Okay, before we get to that, I wanted to also talk about, it's something you mentioned in the book. You talked about health. And I also want to add that it's health and it's education. They are quite important in ensuring that a country's workforce is both enlightened in terms of their education, and also they are healthy so that they can go to work. Now, a lot of countries have invested heavily in education and also in healthcare. We've seen how in England, for example, healthcare is free at the point of delivery, because we know that we pay taxes for this. And if you check, there's an application where you can check exactly how much you are contributing towards education, healthcare, towards the armed forces and all that. So there is a national healthcare service, okay, the NHS, and then you've also got free education at the point of delivery, although we know we pay taxes for that. So these are countries that are running social programs alongside their capitalist economic system. But they are running social programs in terms of education, in terms of healthcare, in terms of just looking after people who cannot manage to go to work and stuff like that. But in Africa, we see a situation where education used to be free for even for primary school in Zimbabwe. But now we have to pay for education. So it's become a premium product. It's become expensive. And also we have to pay for healthcare, which means we have a population which is not fit for work because they can't afford to buy medication. And even if they can afford, sometimes the medication is not available. And then we also have a situation where some people are dropping out of school. Some brilliant young people have to drop out of school because they don't have, they cannot afford to pay the school fees. So what do you say to that?
Yeah, I think if you look at our problem in Zimbabwe, for example, it's not that we don't have the resources to meet the needs of the 16 million, as I've said earlier on, or even to satisfy the social contract of our own people. The biggest problem, or the biggest enemy of Zimbabwe and the developing world is that if you look at in terms of the tax system, we've got a porous tax system. None of those with money, and in most cases, mind you, people who have the money tend to be associated with the regime through corrupt system and corrupt means, and they don't pay into the tax system coffers. So the collection of revenue is heavily compromised in developing world, and in Zimbabwe is even worse a scenario. And given the situation that
I heard that there are privileged people who can just go to the Zimbra offices at the borders and get whatever they want there.
Yeah, and they've got this system of where people say, "Well, I'm connected to so and so, so I don't have to pay tax."
Yeah.
Okay, and so they can always.
I've always asked where these guys who say they've got a lot of money and their businesses. I've always asked how much tax they are paying. Because if those people alone were paying tax, I'm sure some of our problems would go away.
Oh, indeed, yeah. So you look at let's make a comparison of UK, for example. UK is just a small island, but yet is an island of over 60 million people.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're able to meet the social needs of the elderly and people who are not working. Right? And what do they have? I mean, the climate is a horrible climate.
Yeah.
And don't have mineral resources. All they have is services, especially the financial systems in place. Look at Zimbabwe, 16 million people with all mineral resources. We've got diamonds, we've got gold, we've got nickel. We've got arable land. We've got the best arable land in Africa, including climate change, which is ideal and food production. But we still cannot feed our own elderly. We cannot actually generate enough income to meet the physical needs.
I'm always saddened by the way that we treat our disabled and people with mental health issues, because you see them on the streets in Harare, in Zimbabwe. So
yes, it should do. I mean, look at it. It only takes a responsible government. And I think all what we are talking about is irrelevant as far as from the current government is concerned. And we cannot expect that the ZANU-PF government would deliver anything different to what they've delivered for the past 37 years.
I think in terms of
poverty.
In terms of such issues, for example, that I've mentioned, people with mental health conditions.
Yes.
It's a good opportunity for Zimbabwe to start businesses that look after such people.
Indeed,
And therefore,
yes.
you can easily create employment doing that. Because most of those issues that we have are opportunities for something, for starting startups that can solve most of those problems and create employment in at the same way.
I mean, if you look at a country like Zimbabwe, as we journey to 2018,
Yeah.
and I think we've got well-educated intellectual skill base of Zimbabweans both inside the country and outside the country.
Yeah.
And I think even those people who are outside the country, this is the time also to strategically position yourself. Yes, outside there you've seen other services, how they are run.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can come together
Okay, Skype is frozen a little bit. Let's hope. Are you back? Can you?
That are investor friendly.
Okay.
We need policies that are investor friendly. And once we've got that, then obviously all what you are talking about will be able to be addressed by Zimbabweans, apart from other investors with the skills and money.
Yeah, I just thought about Obama's Obamacare program, which I think was an attempt to duplicate or to copy the National Health Service in the UK, because I think he realized as president that a healthy nation, can drive economic growth and development.
Yes.
So coming up with because they pay for healthcare, so if you can get insurance companies running affordable care, then you can get a lot of people who are working, able to access healthcare services, and therefore be more productive as workers.
Yeah, and look at it. Of course, we know the current situation even in the USA, isn't it?
Yeah.
That the first thing that Donald Trump did when he got into power is that he's going to repeal that Obamacare bill,
and apparently the alternative is very expensive for the elderly. I think it's upwards of 400% increments in healthcare contributions, which is quite prohibitive.
Yeah, but you look at these other countries. Yes, they call themselves a developed world, but they thrive on the inequalities.
Yes.
Between the have and the have-nots.
Mm.
And they want to sustain the status quo. This is why you've got the conservative, and we've got the liberals, we've got the Labour, the Democrats. The Democrats will come in there and they want to redistribute the wealth.
Yeah.
And normally they are given a term or two terms to try to distribute the wealth. And then what happens is you then have got the conservative that comes in and takes back the wealth through either a taxation regime or rewarding the bourgeoisie more wealth. And so there's sort of a checks and balances of distribution of wealth, and at the same time a new government comes in and redresses the situation negatively. But yes, that's I suppose that's how their countries have been run.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel personally that it is very unfair.
Yeah.
To those people who either they are born in an impoverished society or from poor parents, and there's no social mobility.
Yeah. Have you seen Donald Trump's budget?
No, I haven't seen it.
He's reducing the budget for science and technology, and he's also he's actually increasing the budget for the military, which I think goes to show that maybe he's preparing for war with some country, maybe North Korea, we don't know. But what I want to say is what the West has always done is it has either used aggression or it has used science and technology, to boost their economies. So if you look at the Industrial Revolution and the Agricultural Revolution, and of course the Information Technology Revolution that we're experiencing now, they've always used these to prop up their economies. But at the same time, they also use war, because war is an easy way to go in and get resources for nothing. So if you're looking at Trump, I think he knows that even if he reduces funding for science and technology, the true scientists will continue working in the background, even with limited resources. But at the same time, he knows that an incoming president can reverse that and put it back and put America back on the science and technology leadership scale.
Yeah, and if you look at the technology, I mean, technology...
And that's what's missing. I think what's missing in Africa is that we're not harnessing information technology, we're not harnessing science and technology to inform how we run or how we provide drivers for economic growth.
Oh, indeed, yes. Yeah. But again, you also have to be very careful that when we talk about technology, we don't talk about technology in isolation. We talk of technology in application. So when the so-called developed world decided to put, an increased budget for defense, mind you, these are the very people that have got industries that manufactures guns
so they are using military technology.
Yeah, so yes, and they are using technology, but unfortunately, this technology is not to enhance the well-being of human beings, but instead to decapitate. So yes, you've got that situation. They might argue that, well, we are using technology, and of course, yes, and they want to. In most cases, they want to test those guns and their weaponry technology. And the best way to do it is to test it on the developing world.
Okay, I think we need to think about wrapping up. It's been half an hour.
Yeah,
sure. A lot of people have expressed concern that sometimes we go for too long.
Yeah.
So we appreciate the time that you are spending with us, viewers, and we will not waste a lot of your time. It was chapter 3 we were looking at, but Elliot, you wanted to talk about the global reach of this, because after we finish here, we're going to post on our YouTube channels. And Elliot has been looking at the statistics, and do you want to give us a breakdown of what you have discovered?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah, firstly, I would like to thank our viewers who have sort of religiously joined us every Sunday this time around. But again, about yesterday, I was doing data crunching, data analysis, trying to find as to how many people sort of follow this program and how widespread are they. And we were both... Yesterday, I was doing data crunching.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah.
I'm looking for comments. Sorry.
With the popularity of this program. Firstly, for the past 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Over 250,000 people has followed us. Yeah. And also spanning about over 70 countries. I'll just mention the top 5.
Yeah.
The top 5, yes, of course, we've got Zimbabwe by its nature. It's got the highest number of people following us, followed by South Africa. I think it's also because of proximity and the number of people in South Africa.
Yeah.
And the third one is UK, coming third. And then the fourth one is USA.
Okay.
And the fifth one, surprisingly, is Kenya. You would expect that maybe the fifth one would be Zambia, which is across the board, the border, or Mozambique. But Kenya is following us very closely. In their thousands, you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
And yes, we also have got within the 70 countries, we've got also Afghanistan, Somalia, South Sudan.
Okay.
We've got Jamaica. We've got Barbados. We've got Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
Canada, we've got I'm not going to list you all the countries here, but I think I have just assembled them. But maybe of interest is also the statistics as to a ratio of male to female. In Zimbabwe, 85% male, about 15% female. In South Africa, 85% male, similarly 15% female.
I'm impressed with Zimbabwe because you know how expensive it is for people to access data.
Yes,
and watching a YouTube video is quite expensive.
Indeed, yes.
So they are making it's a brilliant effort by those. I'd like to say thank you to those people who are watching our videos.
And you'll be surprised that Zimbabwe was about 150,000 people.
Okay.
Which is quite a remarkable number. And then if you go to UK, UK 65% male, 35% female. And then you go back to USA, more or less like Zimbabwe somehow.
Yeah.
So you get about 80% male, 20% female in the United States of America.
I think that after this book, what we'll try to do is try to engage in topics that cover also those areas.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you go to maybe just a good example from the Middle East. So Middle East, we have United Arab Emirates, we have Qatar, we've got Oman, we've got Saudi Arabia. But if you go to Saudi Arabia, it's 100% male and is 0% female.
Okay.
Except maybe Oman. Oman, I think, has got about 93% male and about 7% female.
Yeah.
So yes, and but the highest in terms of male to female ratio, you'll be surprised. It's actually Swaziland.
Okay.
Yes, with about 40% female.
Yeah.
And 60% male and Swaziland.
That's good.
So it's that it will be of interest for our viewers out there that you are not alone. It's the whole world following this program. Of late, they've been an energized interest on the Zimbabwean situation. And I think it could be the reason that they sympathize with our current situation, being led by the oldest president in the whole world, and the same person at 93 years will be a presidential candidate at 94, 2018. So the whole world is sort of sympathizing with Zimbabwe, especially with our political, social, and economic problems.
Right. I think we can end it here today. Thank you again, Facebook, for watching. Thank you, YouTube, in advance. I know you're going to watch this because we're going to post it on YouTube. There are no questions today, but I would encourage people to ask questions. We post I announced on my Facebook page that I'll be live on Sunday, GMT, 9:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So you can ask me questions on my page. You can ask me questions on my Twitter as well, which you'd like me to ask Elliot in our presentation. Next week, we're going to do chapter 4 of the book, Social Justice and Food Security, a United Nations Global Challenge. So thank you for watching. Any closing comments, Elliot?
No, I'm not going to hold our viewers any longer, except to thank them for joining us. And I would like them to continue. And we are here to also discuss both political, social, and economic issues. But if they've got questions, they can actually send us questions, which we can also incorporate in our discussions. And I thank them very dearly.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. My pleasure.